Hello friends, it's been quite a while, but I have some nice news. So remember previously I made a video about multi-tenancy and I also created a basic multi-tenancy boilerplate named Moneygun and made a couple of videos about how it works. And now I have improved Moneygun, so it is now not just a multi-tenancy boilerplate, but it is a software as a service multi-tenancy boilerplate, meaning that it accepts subscriptions. So here's the actual pull request where I added the gem pay to make Moneygun be not just multi-tenancy but multi-tenancy subscriptions. Let me demonstrate what this means. So at the moment, let's try to create a new account, just the device sign in form, and I can create an organization. Let's create an organization. Let's name it Super Rails. Let's add a logo. Okay, so I've created the organization, and there's the dashboard, there's like a projects page where these would be the models within the organization, and now we have this pay vault page, and I cannot access this pay vault page because I need to be subscribed to access this controller or controller action. So here is the pricing page that is visible in the billing, and let's hook up payments. At the moment, if I click on get started, you see there's no price, and I need to create the prices and connect my Stripe API. So here I have a new Stripe account. I'm going to developer mode, and I'm going to see my API keys. So I will go and add my API keys. I will say Rails credentials edit environment development. I need to say editor, so I will say editor equals Vim. Okay, here I can access and edit my credentials, and you see by default I already have Stripe credentials set. Now there's also a template, so credentials.yml.t, that shows which credentials you need to run the application. Here I have already added the Stripe private key, so this one, the public key, this one, and a webhook secret. Now development doesn't matter much, but I took it from going to webhooks, add endpoint, and here you have this example endpoint secret. So I added it here. Okay, let's quit. So I've got the credentials, and now I need to ensure that I have the plans available in my application. Now, where do these plans come from? They actually come from, let's open our pricing. Here it is. It comes from, okay, let's ident using tabs. It comes from Rails application config for settings. So I will go to settings, and here I inputted the plans. So the price ID, the unit amount, the currency, here's the currency, the interval, and most importantly, the price ID. So I have two prices, a monthly and yearly plan. Let's create this kind of prices in our Stripe dashboard. So here I'm in the test mode. I will go to product catalog. I will say pro subscription. And I will create a recurring price. Let it be in USD. Let's make it $99 per month. Add the product. And I will create one more price within this product. So it will be a yearly price. Let's add recurring USD 999. And let's make it yearly. Okay, create price. Now I have two prices, and I can update my settings for these prices. So we have this 99. I will copy the price ID. It is $99, so I need to also have the cents here. The currency is USD for both. And I will copy the second price for the yearly. Let's open it. Here's the price ID. I will paste it here. Okay, so I have updated the plans that I'm going to use locally. And let's refresh this page. I'm going to click on get started on the monthly plan. And you see I have this checkout page. Now I want to be able to upgrade from the monthly plan to the yearly plan directly on the checkout page. So to do this, I'm going to go to the product, the monthly plan, and here we can add an upsell. So the monthly plan upsells to yearly plan. Let's update it. And now if I go back and initiate a new checkout session, you see it offers to upsell automatically in the checkout from monthly to yearly. We can add promotional codes. Tax calculation is included by default. Also, there's this I'm purchasing as a business check that lets business customers to subtract VAT, for example. Okay, let's try subscribing to the yearly plan. Now, the email here is the email of the owner of an organization. Okay, pay and subscribe. And it should send a webhook to the organization model and update its subscription to be active. You see, pay webhooks are happening. Okay, you see, I have now subscribed. So subscription is active. Here's the price. Here's the next billing date. Looks wonderful. Now I can click on this pay vault page, and you see, congrats. If you see this, you are subscribed. So wonderful. The subscription works. There are a few different subscription states. So let's try to unsubscribe now. Okay, invalid request error. I need to configure the billing portal. Okay, let's configure the billing portal in the test mode. No, save changes. Let's try once again. Yeah, so I just needed to like initialize this billing portal. And now you see I can manage my subscriptions. So let's say I want to cancel the subscription. And I think it's going to cancel at the period end by default. So here you see we can allow customers to switch plans. Yeah, you see there are many settings that customers can have or not have in the billing portal. This is really cool. So you don't have to manage all this in your app. You let Stripe manage it for you. Anyway, let's cancel the subscription. Let's go back to the application, and you see, so the subscription is canceled, but you will lose access still in a year from now, because you have already paid for a year and you'll be able to still use the application for a year. Just the subscription will not be renewed at the end of the subscription. And you see the status badge has been updated to kind of orange, so stand by. Okay, let's go to our pay vault page, and you see now I can still access it because the subscription is active. It's just not going to be renewed. Let's go and create another organization. So let's name it Avo. I'll add a logo. Okay, so here I have two organizations. If I have a look at both organizations, you see this one is unsubscribed but active. This one is not subscribed at all, and this organization doesn't have access to the pay vault page, so it redirects to the pricing page. Let's have a look a bit deeper at how the Pay Rails gem is installed. So first of all, this is a multi-tenancy organization application, and the subscriber is not just a user, it is the organization that the user belongs to. So the subscriptions are on organization level, not user level. Let's go to our organization.rb, and here we will have pay customer. So the pay customer is not a user, it is the organization. And in this application, we allow just Stripe. And there are a couple of Stripe attributes that we send. It's the pay customer ID and user ID. Let's, yeah, here we could actually have organization ID. This would be better. Okay, if we go to our Stripe dashboard, let's have a look at customers. So here's the customer. Here we have the pay customer ID and the, well, this should be the organization ID. I have just updated it. So we know which records this Stripe customer references in our application. We can go and have a look at the pay customer. Let's run the Rails console. Pay customer, there are two, all. You see there is a pay customer on an organization level. Okay, so the pay customer is on the organization level, and then we have this subscriptions controller, or the billing as we see it here. So let's open it. Let's open subscriptions controller. The roots are defined here in the application. So there are just three roots: the index, the checkout page that opens a new checkout session, so lets you pay, and the billing portal that lets you manage an active subscription. So going back to the subscriptions controller, we check if the user is subscribed or not, and based on this we can display a different page. So here we have Avo. Let's open the SuperRails organization, go into billing. You see in SuperRails and in Avo we have different states. Here it is a cancelled subscription, here it is a not initialized subscription, so not even started to subscribe, never was subscribed. So different states. We can have a look at subscription index. Yeah, so if the user is subscribed, then we see their current subscription. Otherwise, there is the pricing table, and the features are shown to everybody to see the value that you have if you are subscribed, or that you can have if you will subscribe. Now here is the index. Now checkout. Again, we find the price by the ID from the button. Here you can see on this button we have params price ID. So we find the Stripe price and initialized a checkout session with this Stripe price. And there are all these additional settings like enable automatic tags, allow promotional codes or not. You can actually disable all of these. Nothing will change. You just have to keep success URL, cancel URL, the line items, and the mode subscription. So it initializes a checkout session and redirects to it. And this has to be data turbo false for it to work. Let's try without turbo false. Let's go to pricing. Here's the subscribe button. So get started. And yeah, actually it worked. Wonderful. So it doesn't always have to be data turbo false. Okay, great. Going next, back to the subscriptions controller. So here's the checkout, then we have the billing portal. This one is super easy. We just initialize the billing portal and redirect to our Stripe subscription management page, this one. And also there's a bunch of logic here all around to ensure that only organization admins have access to subscriptions, logic that says that the subscriptions should be synced and billing should be enabled. Meaning if you don't have any Stripe credentials, then these billing pages will not be visible at all in the application. So you can use it, you can use Moneygun as a Multitenancy application without the subscriptions module if you don't have a Stripe key present. Let's try removing the Stripe key. Okay, let's edit our credentials. I will comment out the Stripe private key. Now save, leave. I will restart the server. So see if there is no Stripe public or private key present, then the billing logic vanishes from the application. Now I will add it back in. Okay, so the subscription logic has been added back. Now, there are actually three different states of payments. Not subscribed, subscription not renewing, and active subscription. So let's create another account with an active subscription. I will create, I know, Buzzsprout. I'll add the logo. I will go and subscribe. Okay, subscribing this organization. Pay is doing its magic with sending the webhooks, updating the pay customers, pay subscriptions, so we don't have to manage about all this in our application. And here we have an organization with an active subscription. So let's have a look at all our organizations once again. You see 3 organizations in different states. Let's open all of them and navigate to the billing pages. And you see we have 3 different states of billing. So not subscribed, actively subscribed and renewing, and actively subscribed but not renewing a subscription. So these are like the 3 most basic states. That's about it about the payments and software as a service implementation. So yes, you can now have billing on organization level, and you can have multiple organizations. I think it's wonderful. And another tiny thing I did is I updated the layout. So now it is more responsive, and it works fine on small screens and on big screens. Here's the small screen version. You see we have this sidebar. Clicking outside will close the sidebar. And also it is responsive. So if you have like a lot of links, a lot of organizations, it's going to work fine. And another thing, so if you can switch the layout. So let me demonstrate. There are 2 different sidebar layouts. This one that looks a bit like Slack, and this one that is just 1 column. So you have 2 layouts to choose from, or you can build your own. Well, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, try building a B2B SaaS with Moneygun. I think now it is possible.